Hey, it's Sheree. I'm here at the Mrs. Doubtfire house to tell you how over 55,000 Bay Area residents are trying to honor Robin Williams' memory, coming up on State of Events.
BART has a new way of getting you home after those long Friday and Saturday nights, but it's not what you think. I'll tell you all about it in a few minutes.
Hello, and welcome to State of Events. I'm Christy Reno.
And I'm Leslie McKinney. Thank you for joining us. The world is still grieving the loss of Robin Williams. The comedian took his life after a Parkinson's diagnosis just 2 months ago.
But now, people from all over are trying to honor him in his hometown. Sheree Honeycutt explains how one woman found thousands to honor his memory.
The late Robin Williams had a deep love for the Bay Area. Williams said no matter where he went, the city always pulled him back in. That love he had for the city is reciprocal. When Williams died, people flocked to this house featured in Mrs. Doubtfire to pay their respects. The house was covered in flowers, rocks on the ground covered in memories. So it's easy to see why one woman would want to make his memory last forever. Julie Wainwright is working on a petition to change the name of the Waldo Tunnel to the Robin Williams Tunnel.
I started the petition to honor him. He felt like a neighbor, so it wasn't just the world lost a great entertainer. Everyone that lived in his area lost a neighbor.
Living in Marin County, Williams would have to pass through the Waldo Tunnel to get home.
People going into Marin County say, "My God, look at that little rainbow, isn't that cute?" They lied to you, it's an ethnic detector.
The petition is pretty popular. Over 55,000 people have signed it. And now, with Marin County Assemblyman Mark Levine's help, the petition may become a reality. He said in a statement, "I'm very interested in this issue and will be exploring it further. Something like this should be done in consultation with Mr. Williams' family. We want to make sure that this is the most proper way to honor him." Just this week, Williams' family showed interest in the project, and with that news, the petition will be brought to a vote this December. In San Francisco, I'm Sheree Honeycutt for State of Events.
If you'd like to sign the petition or want more information, you can visit change.org and search for Robin Williams. From rainbows in Marin to rainbows in the Castro, San Francisco's planning department is upgrading some neighborhoods in the city. They want to make the neighborhoods more livable. Michelle Quintero visited the Castro to see how residents feel about their new look community. Michelle?
This Castro Street makeover has been going on for 5 months. The project is almost complete, and the residents I talked to, for the most part, like it. The Castro Streetscape Improvement Project aims to improve various aspects of the street, including the widening and repaving of the sidewalks, planting of trees, better lighting, and installing rainbow crosswalks with plaques of LGBT leaders and heroes. These changes are taking place at Castro Street between Market and 19th Street.
This is what we call a complete streets project, where we try and re-envision a street so that it works best for all users and transform them into their optimal state.
And some residents are proud of the work.
I do live here. I think it's beautiful. I think they've done a wonderful job with it.
Some shop owners are not happy with the construction taking place.
We're losing money. We're losing our money. Like our business has been down 60% since the construction started.
But everyone can agree that the Castro is a unique neighborhood with unique needs.
What the neighbors wanted was the rainbow crosswalks to celebrate this unique moment in history of marriage equality.
The total cost for this project is $4 million. The funding comes from a bond that voters passed back in 2011. It is scheduled to be completed next month. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Michelle Quintero, State of Events. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Michelle. Have you ever wanted to enjoy the great outdoors from your computer? Well, now you can. Google is partnering with California State Parks to add virtual maps. They will use a new 40-pound Trekker backpack that includes a GPS, a 360-degree spinning camera, and 15 different lenses. It takes still photos every 2 seconds. Google hopes that by adding these photos, it will help people plan trips and let them relive memories virtually. Google has already mapped out 14 California state parks and hopes to continue to expand to other states.
That's pretty cool, Christy. If you go out on weekends and stay out late, you've got a new way to get home. Reporter Sammy Mamo is live in the newsroom with the information on the new transit program.
BART and AC Transit are launching a new pilot program that's going to beef up their after-hours service. The new program will extend bus service from San Francisco to the East Bay after BART's last train has left the station. According to BART, over 400,000 people use the transit service on a weekday. On a weekend, that number is over 200,000. For those from the East Bay who are out late on the weekends, BART has not been a transportation option because the last train leaves at midnight. That all changes in December. BART has partnered with AC Transit to increase its so-called OWL service. The late-night service will run from 12:30 to 2:30 in the morning. The new service will extend bus service from Mission and 24th Streets in San Francisco to Pittsburgh Bay Point in the East Bay. The new stops will also be made at BART stations along the way every 20 minutes from Oakland to Bayfair BART. OWL service originally started in 2005 on weekdays from 12 to 5 in the morning. The weekend OWL service is brought about by state transportation assistance funds. AC Transit says this is just the first of several projects they have in the works with BART. The pilot program will launch in December. Reporting live in the newsroom, I'm Sammy Mamo, State of Events.
Thanks, Sammy. This past weekend, you might have noticed a whole lot of sailors and civilians in town. And if you're a business owner, your businesses perhaps boomed in sales thanks to Fleet Week. State of Events reporter Rocky Mathers reports on this classic event and the business's take on it.
Thanks, Christy. When we think of Fleet Week, we often think Blue Angels, sailors, and fun. But for businesses, it means big deals. People from all over travel to San Francisco for Fleet Week, which after 2 years makes its way back to the Bay Area. Fleet Week is when the U.S. Navy, the Marine Corps, and the Coast Guard active military ships dock for a week in San Francisco. This year, San Francisco offered parades, art exhibits, and the much-anticipated Blue Angels Air Show. And due to this, the businesses really profited.
I noticed throughout the week we got a lot more business between, I would say, like 2:30 to 5:30 p.m., which is normally our downtime. Last week we had some really good crowds that were coming in between lunch and dinner, which was great.
Other restaurants like Boulevard near Ferry Building saw an increase in clients this week, especially on Sunday. Expect Fleet Week to return next year. Reporting live for State of Events, I'm Rocky Mathers. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Rocky. Still ahead on State of Events, teaching, sign language, and chemistry. We'll show you what and who these three things have in common.
And later, online hacking is on the rise. Reporter Erica Cadaret will explain what you need to know to keep your information safe.
When Sarah was born, my husband and I weren't sure who we could trust with her health. Our friends recommended UCSF's Valencia Health Services. After seeing the professionalism and friendly service from VHS's nurse practitioners and doctors, we saw that they truly know how to keep their patients as their #1 priority. The nurse practitioners and doctors provided the best preventive care for Sarah.
UCSF's Valencia Health Services. Let us be part of your family.
Sodium hydroxide, stoichiometry, symmetry operations. Those names alone can make chemistry a scary subject to take. An SFSU professor is teaching chemistry with a different approach. Before giving away too much, let's go to reporter Diane Tao, who has the exclusive information that could inspire you.
Taking a science course is a general ed requirement in college. For many students, this class can be very complex. I found a professor who teaches the tough subject by using sign language.
Dr. Painter is not your ordinary science teacher. He's anything but ordinary. Before teaching at San Francisco State, Ronald Painter was just a student at Stanford getting his PhD. Alicia Davidovich has worked alongside with Painter since then and only had positive things to say about her colleague.
He's great. We've worked together for more than 10 years, and he's so easy to work with and signs super clear.
Yes, that's right, Dr. Painter is deaf, but he never let it disable him. With a great mind, optimistic perspective, and an interest in teaching others, it was only a matter of time before Painter became a professor.
I enjoy seeing students learn, seeing them understanding processes in chemistry, what they go through, and I love being able to help facilitate that process.
Imagine coming to class and two interpreters sitting in the front of the room, translating everything. It can be pretty intimidating. Student Stephanie White admits she was hesitant about the course on the first day. She has then had a change of heart.
It's a drive and just that kind of flair makes it really fun to learn from him, because his whole way of teaching is just very different, and I like it.
A great message Dr. Painter projects is not to let your disability disable you. He's a living proof that anything you set your mind to, you can achieve. Live in San Francisco, I'm Diane Tell, State of Events. Back to you in the studio, Leslie.
Thanks, Diane. Now, from teachers to SF State to former students, if you are a single SF State alumni, you are popular, at least according to a new survey by matchmaking service The Dating Ring says. SF State has the 7th most dateable alumni in the nation. Other local schools like UC Berkeley and Stanford were not on the list. The Dating Ring used dating feedback from around 2,000 people over the course of 18 months. The most dateable was Colgate University in New York.
We have an update about the missing students in Mexico. Investigators have found unmarked graves that contain human remains on a remote dirt road in Guerrero State. They have not yet concluded whether the remains are those of students. Mexican cartel leader Benjamin Pereira took his life early on Tuesday. His cartel is suspected of being involved in the kidnapping. 3 students are dead and 43 students are still missing since September 26th.
According to the federal government, almost 9 million households in the United States had their identities stolen in 2010. That's 7% of the entire population. And by last year, the Department of Justice says that the number jumped to 13 million. In this live report, Erica Cataray shows how to protect your information.
Yes, Leslie, and out of those 13 million victims, 2 million were from California. The IRS says the Bay Area is in the top 15 regions that have the most identity theft victims in the nation.
So how are hackers able to get a hold of your information? Aside from physically stealing important documents or credit cards, online is a huge target. HP software developer Don Gonzalez creates anti-theft programs to help protect customers. He also explained how hackers use phishing sites.
So when you want to log into, for example, Google account, they'll put up a fake login page. You type in your stuff to collect the data.
He also showed me there are various ways to block trackers and how to stay safe online.
What you're looking for is the icon, the right icon, is the domain, the right domain, did you go to the site and ask for it as opposed to someone redirecting you to the site, like pressing a link and it redirects.
Another way people get their information stolen is from dumpster diving. However, companies such as DataSafe provide various services such as shredding. This assures people their information is disposed of properly, so valuable information is not stolen.
Don also mentioned certain software you can buy to protect your computer from intruders. When accessing confidential sites, be cautious and choose complex passwords. You can find more tips at oag.ca.gov. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Erica Cataray for State of Events. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Erica. The Loma Prieta earthquake shook the Bay Area 25 years ago. The quake killed over 60 people, injured more than 3,000, and left about 12,000 people homeless. This October, the Bay Area is remembering the disaster. October is Earthquake Month at the Tech Museum of Innovation in San Jose. Each week, the museum will provide opportunities for the public to prepare for and learn about earthquakes. The Shakeout Earthquake Drill occurs statewide on October 16th. Quake the Quad will take place at San Francisco State University at noon in the Malcolm X Plaza. The drill is conducted to heighten earthquake awareness. The recent earthquake in Napa is a strong reminder that we live in earthquake country. Attending a community emergency response team, Class is a great way to prepare yourself for an earthquake. CERT classes are offered by each city in the Bay Area.
Thanks, Leslie. Up next, we'll take you to World Vegetarian Festival in San Francisco.
And later, Oscar Maciel shows us another side of the San Francisco Police Department.
And I'll tell you why some of San Francisco's finest are gearing up for the rodeo. I'm Oscar Maciel, and that's coming up on State of Events.
Small businesses are facing expensive energy bills. Much of this expense is generated from lighting. In fact, inefficient lighting can cost small business owners more than they may realize. Don't let your lights burn more than electricity. Let smart lights help you save money, and let the money work for you, not your energy bills. Smart lights, brighten your bottom line. A joint program of the cities of Berkeley and Oakland.
Welcome back to State of Events. The County Fair building in Golden Gate Park hosted the 15th annual World Vegetarian Day Festival. We sent reporter Victoria Alaniz to see what the event was all about. Victoria?
People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, or better known as PETA, consider San Francisco as one of the most vegetarian-friendly cities in the U.S. So it's no wonder the 2014 World Vegetarian Day Festival took place in the heart of Golden Gate Park over the weekend. But the festival wasn't only about protecting animals. Take a look.
Surrounded by animal portraits, t-shirts, and activists, it would seem like the 15th annual World Vegetarian Day Festival was for the animals. But the more I talked to festival goers and volunteers, I noticed a different perspective. How?
There were scientists, nutritionists, doctors, dietitians, and they said the most important thing that you can do to reduce your risk of cancer is to stop eating meat and also to stop eating dairy. And I thought they were going to say something else, like some magic pill or something like that. And at that very moment, I said that I wasn't going to eat meat again.
The ADA reports people who followed a vegetarian diet lower their risk of developing heart disease, cancer, obesity, and high blood pressure. But with so many health benefits, why do only 13% of Americans identify with being vegetarian or vegan?
Oftentimes they're the only one in their own family, and it's difficult to know what to do, how to prepare food, what to prepare, because you need to learn so that you can be a healthy vegan. I can say this, the vegan diet is good for you, it's good for the animals, it's good for the planet, it's good for everything.
The annual event focused on health and animal welfare with cooking demonstrations, live performances, and influential speakers. The San Francisco Vegetarian Society hopes to spread the word on vegetarianism and veganism to not only the local community, but the rest of the world. To learn more about upcoming veg events, log on to sfvs.org. Reporting live in San Francisco, I'm Victoria Alaniz. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Victoria. Our next story is also from Golden Gate Park. Finding a dream job can sometimes be a lifetime search, but for some San Francisco police officers, the dream is a reality. Reporter Oscar Maciel meets police officers who turn their love of horses into a career. Oscar Maciel is live in San Francisco with the story. Oscar?
Thanks, Christy. Well, San Francisco Police Department's mounted unit is the second oldest in the country, next to New York. So naturally, they have a lot of history, but they also have a lot of heart. These officers absolutely love what they do, and they love their four-legged partners.
If you're riding these guys, you cannot get lost in Golden Gate Park because they know how to get back to the barn.
Meet Officer Wendy Frisk and her partner Bubba. They're with the city's mounted unit in Golden Gate Park. Like most officers in the unit, working with horses is what brought her here.
My husband was asking me what I wanted to do. I said I want to ride the horse in the park. And he said, well, why don't you go do that? Well, I had to become a police officer first, so I did.
The mounted unit does mostly ceremonial appearances, like parades and work with children. But this month, they're getting ready for the rodeo.
At each show, they have an opening ceremony and national anthem, and we present the color guard for that. They have a color guard competition, so last year we've entered every year. They've had the color guard competition, and last year we took first place. So
the mounted unit works hard to win trophies, But for officers like Matt Castagnola, it's a chance to do what he loves.
The first time I rode into the arena on horseback and heard my name announced by the announcer there that I'd been listened to for 30 years, it was bone chilling. It was a lot of fun, and it's great riding the horse in that arena.
Officer Castagnola says the unit plans to defend its title this year. The rodeo is this weekend at the Cow Palace in San Francisco. But if you miss it, you can catch Bubba and the gang at the rodeo next weekend as well. For State of Events, I'm Oscar Maciel. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Oscar. There's always something happening in Hollywood. Entertainment reporter Bianca de la Paz is here live with the scoop.
Child molestation scandals are the buzz in Hollywood this week. Former Seventh Heaven star Stephen Collins has allegedly admitted to engaging in inappropriate behaviors with 3 young girls, all during his 27-year marriage to Faye Grant. According to TMZ, the evidence is in an audio recording of a therapy session the couple attended back in 2012. The website claims Collins came clean, and the proof is on tape. The actor has yet to comment, but not everyone is holding their tongue this week. Lynn Bynes, mother of troubled actress Amanda Bynes, is setting the record straight. Just weeks ago, Amanda took to Twitter to make alarming sexual abuse accusations against her father, Rick Bynes. Lynn says nothing could be further from the truth, and early Friday, Amanda returned to Twitter where she wrote, "My dad never did any of those things." On a much happier note, wedding bells are in the air for one famous family.
Duck Dynasty star John-Luke Robertson proposed to his girlfriend Mary-Kate. Robertson popped the question last Saturday at his 19th birthday celebration. The newly engaged couple later shared this adorable snapshot of John-Luke holding a sign that reads, "Future Mrs. Robertson." Robertson says he is thrilled to be marrying his best friend, and his parents, Willie and Corey, are such an inspiration to him.
Isn't that sweet? Best of luck to John-Luke and his bride-to-be. I'm Bianca de la Paz, and that was your weekly entertainment report. Back to you, Christy.
Thanks, Bianca. Just ahead on State of Events, Raiders, Stanford, and 49ers. Ashley Keene has our sports report next.
Plus, a Bay Area woman got more than she bargained for at a local thrift shop. We'll show you what she found in a purse after the break.
Over the weekend, I visited the #2 school in the Pac-12 North Division, the Stanford Cardinal, hosting Washington State. I'll take a look at the team as they get ready for the second half of their season next on State of Events.
Coffee awakens all the senses, but only Fair Trade certified coffee awakens the 6th sense, the sense of fairness. Fair Trade certified coffees are bought directly from family farmers, guaranteeing them better incomes and strengthening their communities. Fair Trade certified. Taste fairness. Look for the label wherever you buy coffee.
Welcome back to State of Events. Security at sporting events is now a priority for many in the Bay Area. A recent fight between 2 49er fans at Levi's Stadium has potentially left a man paralyzed. Authorities fear disorderly behavior is escalating. It is common for teams to hire local police for an extra layer of security, but in order for spectators to feel safe, many say that the fans' frat house culture needs to change.
Baseball season is winding down and football season is heating up. Sports reporter Ashley Keene has more on what's happening around the Bay.
Thanks, Christy. Let's start with college football. Stanford took the field last Friday night in Palo Alto and pushed around Washington State Cougars. Reporter Katie Welge was there for all the action.
They sure did. 34-17 was the final. Stanford has a 4-2 record, and head coach David Shaw led his team to their second conference win of the year.
There is no doubt that the Cardinals aren't a spirited bunch in Palo Alto. Not only is their football team leading into the midseason with a great beginning, they appear to be bigger, stronger, and faster this year. They are one of the key teams in the Pac-12 and seem to have a bright season ahead of them. Head coach David Shaw is fully aware that the good can come with the bad and can only hope his players can overcome the mishaps when competition gets tougher.
I think they're taking to heart all the things that have been said about us, which we never try to focus on the media, but we lost a lot of leaders. We lost a lot of guys that have won a lot of games for us and taken us to 4 straight BCS games. So the talk is warranted, but I think our guys are taking it seriously, that they're not going to let it slip, that we have established a way that we play, and the guys want to uphold that standard.
So far, they have maintained a reputation that seems strong, as was witnessed Friday night against the Cougars. The Cardinals' offense was really in rhythm, and receivers seemed to be wide open. Coach Shaw said that the last Friday's game was the first night they felt and looked like their Cardinal team.
Some pretty powerful alums watched the win. Tiger Woods and on the sidelines along with Condoleezza Rice. The Cardinal team on the road this Saturday as they hope for a win against Arizona State. I'm Katie Welge reporting for State of Events. Back to you, Ashley.
Thanks, Katie. The Raiders and their new interim head coach took on the San Diego Chargers Sunday, hoping to end their season-long losing streak.
First drive of the game, Derek Carr passes to Andre Holmes for a 77-yard touchdown. It was Carr's first game back since his injury in England against Miami, but he came back strong. Carr passed for 283 yards with 4 touchdowns. Although the Raiders lost 31-28, giving up a 28-21 lead in the fourth quarter, the Silver and Black are looking better than they have all season. Sunday was the first game under the new head coach Tony Sperano, and improvements are already being seen.
What this ball represents and what this hole represents are the first 4 games of the season, the first quarter of our season. All right? Goes in the hole, and I'm going to put the first piece of dirt on it. Okay? Anybody else that wants to put any dirt on it, you help yourself to work here. Okay? Everybody understand that?
Raiders have been criticized in the past for their lack of passion, but Sperano does not think he will have an issue motivating the team.
Sperano is focusing on the positives for his team that is 0-5. He is looking to increase the tempo at practice and create a new dynamic, all in hopes of brightening the future of the Raiders. They host the Arizona Cardinals next Sunday. Moving across the bay, 49ers look forward to taking on Peyton Manning and the Broncos Sunday. They're coming off the big win Monday night against the Rams. 31-17 was the final. The Niners scored 24 unanswered points in the third quarter. Colin Kaepernick passed for 343 yards with 3 touchdowns. The Niners are now 4-2. They're on a roll heading into the game against Denver, winning the last 3 in a row. That's all I have for sports. I'm Ashley Keene. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Ashley. Finding old movie tickets or receipts in your bag is normal. What isn't normal is finding a ring that doesn't belong to you. Most would just keep the ring and keep their mouth shut.
Not Kate Evenbeck, who wants to find the rightful owner who previously owned her secondhand purse. Reporter Diane Tao has all the details.
Last December, Katie Evenbeck purchased a bag from Buffalo Exchange in Berkeley. She kept losing her things whenever she placed anything in it. She discovered something. She discovered a hole in the purse. In the midst of some garbage, there lied a ring. The previous owner was not able to be identified. Buffalo Exchange said they had no documentation to track the person who came to trade in the item. Katie is reaching out to the public. She works at St. Dorothy's Rest, the oldest camp in California. The summer camp is a retreat for children with cancer. The cost per child is $1,000. Oddly enough, the ring is appraised for the exact same value. Lieutenant Spiller is assigned to the case. He confirms that he has received a lot of phone calls.
At least, 15 to 20 folks who've, lost their rings and were hoping that this was theirs.
Protocol requires the ring to be turned in to the police department. The owner has 90 days to come forward. Those who believe this is theirs should contact Lieutenant Spiller with the description of the ring.
If the rightful owner does not claim the ring by Christmas, Kate will be back here to collect what we then lawfully hers. She plans to pay it forward by auctioning the ring. The funds will go to a cancer patient wanting to attend the summer camp. In Berkeley, I'm Diane Tell, State of Events.
Thanks, Diane. Here's the contact information that you could reach Lieutenant Spiller. The phone number is 510-981-5943. You can also email him at spiller@ci.berkeley.ca.us.
Well, that's going to wrap up State of Events for this week. I'm Christy Reno.
And I'm Leslie McKinney. We'll see you next week.